Did you know that the Philippines faces a staggering national debt, yet a significant portion of the funds needed to address it are lost annually to corruption? This video explores the shocking connection between corruption and the nation's financial instability, examining the extent of the problem and outlining potential solutions. Understanding the debt servicing crisis, the Philippine government allocates a substantial portion of its budget to servicing its national debt. This includes paying interest on borrowed funds and repaying principal amounts. The debt's composition includes both domestic and foreign borrowings, making it vulnerable to fluctuating interest rates, currency exchange rates, and global economic conditions. High debt servicing costs severely limit the government's ability to invest in essential infrastructure and social programs, ultimately hindering economic growth. The hidden cost of corruption siphons off critical resources that could otherwise be used for development and debt reduction. Estimates indicate that corruption costs the Philippines between 10% and 20% of its annual national budget. In 2023, with a national budget of 5.268 trillion pesos, this translates to an annual loss of 526.8 billion pesos to 1.053 trillion pesos. This staggering sum is lost primarily through 1. Infrastructure projects, overpricing, ghost projects, and rigged bidding processes. 2. Customs and taxation, smuggling and tax evasion. 3. Social services, leaked funds undermining poverty alleviation and educational programs. This lost revenue represents a stark contrast to the government's actual fiscal needs. Curtailing corruption and reallocating these funds could dramatically reduce the country's debt burden. Harnessing lost revenue to reduce debt, the Philippines' external debt alone totals approximately 4.5 trillion pesos, 2023, stemming from multilateral institutions, bilateral loans, and international bonds. Domestic debt accounts for roughly 68–70% of the total, largely sourced from government securities, domestic banks, and the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas (BSP). Redirecting even a portion of the estimated 1 trillion pesos in annual losses from corruption could make a significant dent in the 1.6 trillion pesos annual debt servicing cost. Moreover, investing these recovered funds in productive areas like infrastructure and social services would spur economic growth, increasing tax revenue and further easing the debt burden. Long-term fiscal sustainability. Addressing corruption isn't just about short-term debt relief. It's crucial for long-term fiscal sustainability. Improved governance, transparency, and accountability would lessen the need for future borrowing. This, in turn, would lead to lower debt servicing costs and create fiscal space for essential public services. Reduced corruption would also bolster investor confidence and credit ratings, resulting in lower interest rates on future loans. Challenges and solutions. Despite the clear potential for redirecting stolen wealth to reduce the national debt, significant challenges remain. 1. Underreporting. Actual losses from corruption could be considerably higher than current estimates. 2. Weak enforcement. While reforms like e-governance and digital transparency are underway, effective enforcement of anti-corruption laws remains weak. Conclusion. Corruption in the Philippines represents a massive untapped resource. Curtailing it and redirecting the lost funds could significantly alleviate the national debt, reduce fiscal pressures, and build a more sustainable economic future. Addressing corruption head-on is not just about financial stability, it's about building a more prosperous and equitable future for the Philippines. For more information on fighting corruption in the Philippines, visit KleptoStop.Philippines. God bless the Philippines.